feel like this. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for years.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Miss Moogie. On my channel I talk about all things about self-love, growth, and helping people to better themselves. So if this sounds like something you've been trying to add into your life or implement into your life, welcome to my channel. So in today's video we are going to talk about some signs that you may see that indicate you have low standards in dating. Now this topic is really important to me because I believe that this falls into the category of self-love. If you do not love yourself, you are not going to know what love looks like from other people. You're not really going to know what love is. So this topic is important to me because you really have to focus on loving yourself before you can allow others to love you. And this is just going to talk about some signs that you may be exhibiting or seeing within yourself that show that you still need to do some inner work in order to, love yourself better so that you can receive the proper love from other people and raise your standards in dating, which is highly important because I believe that high standards keep us from having low quality experiences. This video is going to be for the people that really want to, raise their standards in dating. This can look like you're just meeting the wrong type of people or attracting the wrong type of people. And anybody can attract, negative or low vibrational people. But it's all about what you're willing to accept in your life. So the signs that I'm going to go over in this video, if you're able to check yes for any of these signs, then chances are you are dating somebody who is not putting in a lot of effort when it comes to pursuing you and courting you. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. One sign that you may be exhibiting that indicates that you have low standards in dating is if you think that it's too much to ask for what you want, and also if you find that dinner dates are too long or you just feel uncomfortable sitting down talking to somebody and you're not comfortable with letting them know your standards. Now, activity dates are fun. I personally do not do activity dates for the first date. I reserve those for other dates. That can be like the third date and beyond that. But you really want to make sure that he is capable of, putting in effort for you and, giving you what you want out of the relationship if it is to lead to that. So I like to go on dinner dates. I do fine dining. And now this may not be for everybody, but just make sure that he's capable of providing something for you and putting in the effort. I do not accept coffee dates for this reason. I do not go out just for drinks. So if a guy's offering that, I know right off the bat that he's not capable of providing me with the quality of life and quality of the relationship that I'm looking for. Like I said, activities are fun. Save those for the later dates, when you're still getting to know each other, but not for the first and second date. I don't think that's appropriate, because you need to determine if he is going to be worth your time and energy. And somebody that's just going to take you on a cheap bowling date, is he really worth your time? If that's all he's able to do for you, that's all he's willing to do, take you for a walk in the park, you're not a dog, don't accept that. Take you for a drink, no. Coffee, no, absolutely not. If your foundation, my rule of thumb is if my foundation costs more than what you're going to pay for the date, then I'm not going. Absolutely not. No, it's not worth it, because I'm wasting makeup at this point. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. So you just have to evaluate that. So I always do fine dining for the first date just to make sure that they're capable of giving me what I want, because if what I'm asking for, a nice dinner, is too much for you to handle, then you obviously cannot handle me and the rest of my standards. And we don't give things away for free. So if you find yourself really wanting to go out with this guy, but he's like, oh, I just want to take you out for mini golf. No, absolutely not. You're not giving your time away for free. Think of that as giving him money. And why would you do that? We don't give guys money. No, unless they're bums. But why would you be dating a bum? So time is money. Don't give it away for free. Also, when you're on a date, if you find yourself doing most of the talking, he's just laid back, taking it all in, you're putting in more effort than he is. And that's backwards. He's supposed to be, doing most of the talking, and you're supposed to be taking all of the information in, because you the main reason for the date is for you to determine if he is worth your time and your energy. So you do not want to do majority of the talking. If you find yourself carrying the conversation, stop, take a moment to stop, think about how much he's contributed to the conversation, and stop. If he's not able to contribute to the conversation as much or more than what you were just doing, then he's not into you. In all honesty, in my eyes, I see it as a guy testing me to see how much I'm willing to bend over backwards for him, like how much more I like him. And my aunt always said, you're supposed to, a guy is supposed to like you more than you like him. And that's that. You're not supposed to like a guy more than he likes you, because it's not going to work out. Females, we become more emotionally invested than guys do. So you're not supposed to like a guy more than he likes you. So I say that to say, stop trying to impress guys. Let them impress you, because at the end of the day, you're going to be more emotionally invested in this. So you need to make sure that he is invested as much or more than you are. So that way you both can, thrive in the relationship happily together. So I really like watching The Bachelorette. Not The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. Now, I did apply to be on The Bachelor only because I wanted to be on The Bachelorette, but I wanted to be The Bachelorette because I love the idea of me being able to choose amongst 30 guys rather than me, chasing after one guy. So I applied to be on The Bachelorette because I wanted to be The Bachelorette. I applied to be on The Bachelor because you have to be on The Bachelor to become the next Bachelorette. Well, potentially become the next Bachelorette. So I want you to think of it as that. If you've ever watched The Bachelorette or haven't, I'm about to explain it to you, but on The Bachelorette, there's one Bachelorette and there's 30 guys protesting their love for her, pursuing her, letting her know that she is like their dream girl. He's putting in all the stops to, get her to see that he's the one for her. And it's 30 guys all doing this. Why? What's stopping you from getting this type of treatment from at least just one guy? Nothing. Actually, no. What's stopping you from receiving that treatment from that special guy is accepting low quality experiences with guys who are really just not that interested. Just think about it. A guy's not going to treat his dream girl, say, oh my God, he's going after Rihanna. Like, he has a chance with Rihanna. He's going to pull out all the stops. So why would you accept a guy who's not going to pull out all the stops for you? Because if he's not pulling out all the stops, you're not his dream girl. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You are not his dream girl. So you don't want to be a cheap date. If you're a cheap date, this is another sign that you have low standards in dating. So if you're a cheap date, you are somebody who pretends to pull out her wallet to test the guy to see if he's gonna make you pay, and then sometimes he will pay, and you're just like, yeah, I'll pay, I guess. No, the guy doesn't like you. But also, if you're a cheap date, you're scared to let them spend money. Like, let them spend their money, honey. Do not be scared to spend their money. Because what? Your time is money. Your time and energy are money, okay? They translate into money. So what does he have to do? He has to spend that money in order to get time with you, because you are valuable. And I want to say I made a short about this, but you cannot let people determine your worth. And for me, somebody trying to take me on a cheap date is them telling me that I'm a cheap date, and you just can't accept that. I don't care how much you like the guy. Do not go out with him, and stop going out with people that offer cheap dates. And if they are just somebody that's trying to make something for themselves, they don't have a lot of money yet, then why are they dating? Their priority should not be dating somebody, because the way I see it is, a guy is never truly going to be happy when he is not fulfilled in his life, if he's not where he wants to be in life. And I call women like that are, settling with the guy, building him up, helping him, get to his potential, reach his potential, or whatever the case may be. They are their placeholder girl. That's their girl that they want, to hold them down. But once they get their dream job, their dream salary, they're going to go after their dream girl. And guess what? That's not going to be you, sweetie. It's not going to be you, because you are what? The placeholder girl. So stop dating guys that are not where they want to be in life, because they don't have it together yet. And if they don't have it together, they have no business dating. I'm sorry. They have no business dating. And I always say this, how much he's willing to pay for me is a direct reflection of how he feels about me. Guys think logically. They think very logically, and we tend to think very emotional with our emotions. So when they think logically, they're like, I can spend $10 on this girl, hypothetically $10 on this girl because she likes me already. Like, I don't have to put in that much effort. But say Rihanna's like, I risk losing her attention, her time, and her energy if I do not spend all the money I have, or whatever the case may be. Their effort is a direct reflection of how they feel about you. So this could look like trying to split the bill, offering you a coffee date, and they can also think flowers are a waste of money. If your guy checks one of those 3 boxes, he doesn't like you. Sorry. So also, I went on the speed dating event mostly for the experience. I didn't have high expectations when it came to the speed dating, but I went on the speed dating, and I, came there with great energy. Like, I have really great energy especially when I'm meeting new people. So all the guys were like, oh my gosh, like, you're amazing. And I know, but I only put like 3 guys on my list, and I matched with all 3. Now, the first one, he offered to take me out for drinks. Now, mind you, I said I do not just go out for drinks. So what I did, because I matched with him, I said I'd be willing to go out to drinks if that came with a dinner reservation. Let me turn this fan on. So I let him know I was willing to go out for drinks if it came with dinner reservations. And he was like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. I can definitely make dinner reservations. He picked out a restaurant. He said, now you aren't expecting me to pay for dinner since you added that to what I initially initiated. I'm sorry, what? I will not be going out with you, sir. Like, be so for real. Please be so for real. Why? That's not a date if I'm paying. And I'm glad you asked me before I gave you my time and energy on the date, but I'm so glad you asked me if I was willing. So I politely told him no, and we never spoke. And for me, saying no with the least amount of resistance is more powerful than, going back and forth and arguing your points and this and that. So when you are saying no to a guy and turning him down, just be polite as possible and with the least amount of resistance. And then the second guy from the speed dating event, he asks me out for coffee. Now, I don't drink coffee, and I told him this. And then I added, because we were having a conversation, but I was like, even if I did drink coffee, I wouldn't go on a coffee date. Like, be so for real. My foundation costs $50. I'm not putting that on to go sit down and drink coffee with you for $5. Please, be so for real. So he called me rude. And I was like, okay, me stating my standard in dating is not rude, but you're going to get that. You're going to get that pushback, and that's okay. A guy's going to be hurt in his feelings, because deep down, or maybe low-key, he knows he's not able to put in that much effort. And like I said, guys that are not able to afford a date do not need to be dating. They have no business dating. They need to be focusing on their money, okay? So, yes. And then the third guy, he never reached out to me, which is completely fine, because I think he knew that he couldn't afford me, and I respect that a lot more than the other 2 guys. They could see the type of, energy I brought, how I present myself. I dress very, very nicely. And so they did, shoot their shot, even though they pretty much knew that they could not, live up to my standards. But the other guy, and it also depends on your perspective too. Like, you have to work on your perspective when you are dating, because the way I think of it, it can be any reason why he didn't reach out to me. But the way I've decided that I decided that he didn't reach out to me, because he knew he couldn't afford me. So you have to change your perspective. And if you're one of those type of people that, beats themselves up when something doesn't go their way, like, you have to try to change your perspective. Like, oh my gosh, why didn't he text me? He probably thought I did this and that. Don't question yourself. Don't ever let a guy question Don't ever let a guy make you question yourself. You have to switch your perspective. So instead of me saying, oh my god, maybe he didn't like me as much as I thought he did, maybe I didn't, you know, have great energy as much as I thought I did, maybe I wasn't dressed as nicely, da 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 da, I could have easily done that. But instead I decided to have a positive perspective on that situation. Oh, he didn't hit me up because he knew he couldn't afford me. I was dressed too nicely for him. I had too much great energy for him. He saw how much the other guys liked me, so he just automatically knew that he wasn't up to the par. So switch your perspective. I promise you, you'll be living a better and happier life. The first date honestly just sets the standard for how the rest of the dates and our dating life will look like. So if you're not able to take me to the fine dining restaurant that I want to go to, then you're not capable of providing me with what I want in this relationship. Another sign that you have low standards in dating is if you let guys spin the block. And now, all these things that I'm saying, I'm not somebody who started off with high standards in dating. So like a lot of these things that I'm saying, I've gone through, like I've done them. I've had low standards in dating. I didn't wake up out of the womb like I have high standards. Now some people naturally do, and I love that, but I had to learn. And this is why I'm making this video, because I had to learn from my mistakes. And now I'm just teaching you guys, giving you guys this advice video so that maybe you can not make those same mistakes. So if you let a guy spin the block, that automatically means you have low standards in dating, because if he liked you the first time, he would not have ghosted you. He wouldn't have, you know, severed your connection and then come back. Because if he comes back, if he tries to spin that block, I swear to God, he does not respect you. He does not respect you. Okay? So you don't want a guy who's constantly disappearing and reappearing, disappearing, reappearing. He literally does not respect you, and you need to start respecting yourself by stopping that, putting a stop to that behavior, because that's unacceptable. Because why should you have to keep disappearing on me if you like me so much? He does not like you, sweetie. Yeah, because unless he's a magician, he should not be comfortable with this disappearing act. Like, who are you, Houdini? Please stop. Please stop. So yeah, I always ask myself, when I do have people trying to spin the block, I always ask myself, how many times do I need to see them disrespect me before I finally get it? You should not have to allow people multiple times to disrespect you in order for you to get them out of your system. One time should be enough, if that. Okay? So I want you guys to like just work on raising your standards, so that way you don't even have to deal with disrespectful people. But this goes for friends as well, not just dating. But if you do find somebody that you're interested in dating disrespect you, one time should be enough. Don't let them disrespect you more than once, because what that turns into is you disrespecting yourself. And somebody that doesn't respect themselves is going to attract people that do not disrespect them. So it's just going to be a never-ending cycle. So you have to get out of that. You have to choose to get out of that cycle. Get off the boat. Get off the ride. Like, stop allowing people to disrespect you. And if you do find them disrespecting you, don't allow it more than once. And it's not your job to change people. I know as women, we like to see, well, not even just as women, as good people, we like to see the good in other people. So it's not your job to change people and to, you know, get them see the wrong in what they're doing. It's not your job. I want you to get that out of your head if you think that way. You literally have to just come to terms with that. It's not your job to change them. They are who they are, and if they want to change that, they can do that on their own time. You're not a teacher, you're not their mother, you're not God, like, but it's out of your hands is what I'm trying to say. So I want you to also think about it, if it's hard for you to, you know, get people out of your life that don't deserve to be there, think of it as like the guy who's constantly talking to himself in your DM. He doesn't have any respect for himself. So how do you treat people that don't have respect for themselves? Just think of it that way. And if you find yourself being treated the way you treat other people that you don't like, guess what? They don't like you. That's what I had to tell myself is, if I'm being treated the way I treat people that I don't like, which is wrong, I know, but like if I treat people a certain way, And if I'm being treated that way, that means what? They don't like me. Another sign that you have low standards in dating is you get intimate too early into the courting stage, the talking stage. So a lot of people confuse intimacy with love and connection. Intimacy is just that, intimacy. So let's stop confusing that with love. Let's stop confusing that with connection. It doesn't, just because somebody chooses to be intimate with you, doesn't mean that they're into you. Doesn't mean they feel a connection with you, and doesn't mean that they love you. People can sleep with anybody, no emotions attached, okay? So if you're somebody that sleeps with people too early on and you think, oh my God, they're going to become obsessed with me, they're going to become in love with me, that only happens for women because we release oxytocin when we have sex, which is our love hormone. It's not the same for guys. So speaking to the women and to the people that fall in love after they have sex and think that it's okay to, you know, sleep with people too early on before you're given that commitment or your standards are met. Stop sleeping with people too early on, because it doesn't mean that they're in love with you. They may like you, but it doesn't mean they're in love with you. And honestly, the way you have to start looking at it is, what has this guy done to show me that he deserves my body? Your body is priceless. You should not be giving it away for free. A guy took you on a date, woohoo, like that's not the same as me giving you my body. Like, let's be so for real. So you have to, you know, just set these rules for yourself. What does a guy have to do in order for him to gain access to your body? That can look like commitment. That can look like taking you on the type of dates that you want, him just giving you things. Maybe your love language is gifts. You have to set these rules for yourself. And if he does not meet these rules, you don't even have to tell him. I don't tell people that I'm dating. I don't tell the guys that I'm dating the rules that I set for myself. If he happens to meet these without me telling him what it is, unless it's commitment. So I had a little, I don't even know, but so one of my rules is I do not kiss on the first date. If he's trying to become intimate early on, that means for me, he doesn't really like me, because a guy who likes you is going to be respectful of you and your boundaries. You shouldn't even have to tell them that, oh my gosh, this is too much for me, this is too fast, this is too intimate. We have to build that connection for us to even get to that point. So if a guy is trying to get to that point on day one, he doesn't like me. I'm sorry, he doesn't like me. So I don't want a guy who's not respectful of me at the end of the day. So if he's trying to kiss me on the first date and just, you know, have sex with me on the first date, just doing too much too early on, I immediately like back up. I'm like, you don't like me, okay? I don't like you is what I should be saying. I don't like guys that do that. So yeah, just set the rules for yourself. Like I said, my rule for myself is no kissing on the first date. Now, if he keeps asking you, keeps pushing you to, you know, become intimate with him, he's lusty. He's showing you that he's lusty, and you need to move on to the next. I'm sorry, you need to move on to the next, because that's all he's after. Once he has accomplished getting what he wants, he's going to start pulling back. Well, majority of the time he's going to start pulling back because he got what he wanted. That's all he wanted. He wasn't really looking for anything that he was talking about beforehand, or, you know, filling your head with these dreams and whatnot. If he's lusty, he's going to do whatever he can to get what he wants, and then he's going to start pulling back once he does. I don't care how good it is, he's going to start pulling back. So do not trust men that are lusty. So another sign that you have low standards in dating is if you accept last minute dates. Now here's the thing, if you accept last minute dates, and I've experienced this, and then I've heard other people say it as well, if you accept last minute dates, if a guy asks you on a last minute date, he's only looking for that one thing. He thinks he's going to take you out, you guys are going to have a good date, and you're just looking to hook up like he is. That's what guys are assuming. So if you accept a last minute date, or if he offers a last minute date, he's going to be expecting that. Trust me. Even if you have to like look back on your past situations, you'll see that what I'm saying is very true. If a guy asks you on a last minute date, he's expecting to hook up with you before the end of the night. Oh, if a guy's truly interested, he is going to take time to plan this date out. He's willing to wait. This is delayed gratification. He's going to plan this date out. He's going to put effort into it if he sees value in you. So stop allowing guys to come in with these last minute dates, low effort dates, because it's a reflection of how they feel about you. So if he doesn't take the time to do any of this, he's just not interested in you, sweetie. Move on to the next. Stop taking up space with this guy who's not interested, and leave that space open for the guys that are interested. So for me, my rule is it has to be planned in at least 2 days. That's the minimum, 2 days. So if you have to, create a list of your negotiables and your non-negotiables, and then you have to start just filtering men based on your non-negotiables. He doesn't want to take you out. He doesn't want to put in that effort to go take you to a nice restaurant of your choice. Cut him. You're taking up space, sir. I need you to move out of the line so the next guy can come in so I can see if he's interested or not. And then also, I know it's like seen as bad, like, are you interested in marriage, and asking all these, you know, important questions on the first date, but you also want to ask yourself these important questions. You don't have to necessarily ask them these questions out loud, because it can feel uncomfortable asking these important questions because it feels like you may be coming on too strong, or whatever the case may be. You want to ask yourself, is this man capable of providing me with the life that I want? If he doesn't fit into your life, because as women, we are forward thinkers, like we're thinking about the future. So when you're meeting this guy and you know you think you may like him, you want to ask yourself, is he capable of providing the life that I want? You want to live a certain life. Everybody wants to live a certain life in their head. So is he going to fit into this, or is he going to be able to provide this for me? If not, you've got to move on to the next. So like I said, you want to set your non-negotiables so that way you can be able to better filter out these men, because that plays a big part in, you know, having high standards. So your non-negotiables are going to be anything that, you know, falls outside of your standards. So my non-negotiables are men that have cheated in the past. I do not put up with cheating. I do not tolerate that. And I also do not tolerate 50-50. So if a guy is expecting me to, you know, help him be a provider, I'm not interested. That's a non-negotiable. I filter men out based on that 50-50 rule. And then cheating. If we get to talking, if we talk, you know, we're dating, and I find out that you've cheated, that's a non-negotiable for me. I can't put up with that, because I'm putting myself and my heart at risk. So I don't want to end up being your next victim. Like, you need to go heal, because why do you feel the need to be in a relationship if you need to be acting like you're single at a moment's notice? So that is it for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today and listening to me talk about things that are important to me. And today we are talking about having low standards in dating. So I made this video just to remind you guys that if you have high standards, it will protect you from low quality experiences. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch me in my next video. Okay, bye.